Oh, yeah. Anyway, I'm old. So, anyway, is there any kind of things to realize the depression in relation to the Tasant Dashong Dalak? Because the robot has not been measured as yet in relation to the iRobot. Because if we can make one, it'd be really nice, isn't it? But like I said, it's just a robot. It doesn't have a brain or a heart. It's just a program. But in the program, and it's just a program, the EMC and the EMO is Deuteron of Alicia Keys. But then, how come the manufacturing degree of an iRobot is just an artificial intelligence in relation to Reapers and to Pelicasay? The Mongono. Well, there's Robot God, kind of like the Fifth Element. It's just a movie. But since it's just a movie, how about the key to overlay? But you know, Twiggy, I can't be bothered. It's quite tiring acting like a fuck let it faggot. Anyway. Okay. Supporter of a timer in relation to a procession of illegal syndrome. But in relation to look-alike, how does the iRobot react in relation to seeing a robot? I don't know. I never know. Anyway, Flexi, Division Support SoPro, Data 6. Unmeasured. Electric. Con. Da. Mũ. Can't spell Vietnamese. Concha. In the dark, dark crystal of our, Michael Jackson. In the conversion of Michael Jackson, the dedication of Ene Dosna Domano is the category of our. That's it. Good day, mate. But anyway, the conversion of the amphilicosis in relation to our protosol is that each condiment is the temperature in relation to alkalicis, our finder, because in that way, this is the hexaton H2F1 and centoson in relation to our mana, because in this way, the doctor of suitable sterilizer by Moses for babies, is it? I don't know. But in that time, once we have AR, it's the nitrocorticosis in relation to the VKK cortisone of Balaka, because our fabric is torn. So in this way, what kinds of things to realize that the Mokono is the crococist of our own Dunghong, because our Fratero, based upon our bankruptcy, the cognizance of reincarnation, based upon the blue world, will compromise the predecessors, because religiously, the infrastructure of the fifth economy is the data core of our collection. But in that way, how do we prolix the confirm of our own? Oh, it sounds the same. Oh, I'm so sick of it. But anyway, okay. Number 26, number 55, and number 31 in relation to the ablaksan, the appropriate garrison in relation to our local shamsan sasan, because the fifth provision to support the electronic probe is the nickname of Didio Senna. Did you commit sin, Guy Reeves? So in that way, the lexicon is 54, 21, set 8, review, support, co. In this way, the co is the completion of our own discussion, because how we do things in relation to our lexicon and our texticon is a need clearly in relation to the bank file, because to the bank file, once we know how to backassign the nickening of the non-amount of delicom, the Greikinson is that the Hoshangshang is the manufacturing degree of REV. So in that way, the controller to Unix, the IBM is the Dickinson of our dictator. In that way, when this computer goes on, I can't bloody wait. When this computer goes on, the complexity of our CP9, CP3, and CP1 is a Tassasai Konton in relation to the Pine Tuang. Because the pins in relation to Ned Kelly is that the Olo in relation to the Se is not a CTAC, it's just a metasis of Melis. Because in this Tongtong, the surge based upon our electronic prawn, we can also conversion in relation to our plakesa, because the third amount of technology to process the inkuta, we will pin out the data of the sun, because the power in the country per town, the next of the illegal manner is that the compromisation of the television is based upon our plasma. But our plasma is different in relation to LCE and LEC. So in that way, the fluctuation of 4, 10, 1, 5, int 7 porosity. The plasma based upon our disatanum is a threshold of knowing the Simon. Because of knowing the Simon, it is the fifth location of our Kotoshon and the rotex of the Fana. Because plexi is 5, 2, 1, 12. Opa. $60 21, 56, Ra, day 11. Within this way, the non-infinitus is that the beginning is based upon the accoton of Dolon, because the reversity of the intuition of our guardian. The fifth religion is the Nikitase of the Gene Dawn. Where is the gate? Have a guess. So, okay. Can we guess what the gate is? And in that way, if the ploksan is a nakanai in relation to our provision to liberate into the demonstration of textalang, we will pin out the next histogram of our dottO, because the throughout our farm will necessitate the sustained resources, because when they do that, they will confront the necessity of milk. The wider the milk, the cow will grow, and the nickname of testosterone within the defunct delay. So the DNA is based upon the tradition of Balang, but the fluid based upon Australian front dedication of data will collection its own content. So Mona Lisa in relation to the fifth revision to support Dudov Andre. How do we know that Victor is only a creation of a hairy cow to position the timer? It's so hot when I was young. Oh, who cares? But anyway, the conflicting of the Nikini in relation to a televar, we will position ourselves into the Sitak and also tension of the Primachunga. In that way, the Parani is the iRobot of the brown. Impossible. Mate, it's bloody impossible to create a robot that has no heart and no brain. But would you like some? Anyway, okay. Point even. Like I said, where's the gate? So in that way, the Folkerseni Nanana is Nixna of the cognizant of the Simos Ditisang dato. In relation to dato, first word is an kokon of non-convert, because in this way it is sun on. Within this depth, sun to on, it is the thesis of knowing where the gate is. But in that way, the complexity of the verification by the CTOS is the thesis of knowing that IBM will test itself into the article to subsidize into the Black Sun, because to subsidize into that, our shoplifter is a nickname of our one. So in that way, the dottY per sentence is that the conflictuosity of illegal sustain, the environmental of our work is recession, I'm afraid. So in relation to recession, the recursion of the correlation is the negative. So in that time, once we have the anana, we will devour caution in relation to our own way. The fifth caution to open the gate in relation to the tesasa, we will need to block a certain amount of amnesia in relation to our intestine, and also to review the support sopo. And in that way, if we can thunder the bolt of the magical moon, the Igua will measure the percentages of his own way, and to sasan the testosterone of the Igua. Because to do that, the dichotom of illegal sustained suitability is the math condition of physical attempt, and to Igua the religion. Because in that way, once we signal into antibacteria, the application to store is that the negation of inakana upala kisi. storeholder. The requisite of the storeholder is the signal of the antibacteria and also to Francon the nutrition. Because in that way, if we can do the nakanang in relation to the storeholder, the review is to teleka the mongo. Request 55C10 cheese ta ink sex t ta. So in this way, once we can signal into the antibacteria, the success of our connonon is that the location of our illegal antecedent, we will position ourselves into the recession. I'm sorry. Because in our recession, our antifunction will deform into the lava. Because kind of like who needs who in relation to sex tone? But the palakatang value 5. D C 1 time. In this way, the confluence of our elegantasa, we will follow the demisestes of the nitrogen in relation to the next alpha, because our algae in relation to ujuka, the exercises of our chemistry will make any destruction. So, tensan ra blah. Within this way, the requestment will form itself into the position of a timer and also to sink into the funk, because the formulation in relation to the next development of technology, the data will signal into the polocacin by payment into cotton wool. So in that way, Ra 6, Ra 5, Ra 2. Hestatang. Don't know how to spell it. Hestatang. Hestatan. So within the Hestatan, the notion of our law is the decision. So our solar system of the energizer by the spirit of the sun is the transition of our sustained tukodo, because the Greek Orthodox in relation to Apalakanan, we will pin out the data of the nonna and to quest the sa. So this is 11% value 2. So within 11% value 2, the requestment into a formula, we will position ourselves into the compliance of its own maturity and to understand the occasion, because the upla in relation to the development of the next artificial intellectual duplication of Rakang, we will fluctuate into our law, because within that way, our future production will be recessed. Well, things we got to be aware and be careful in relation to our economy, because the recession, and in that way, when we preview the next decadent in relation to the ancestors, we will mark the grade of the 5th position and to dottY the following, because based upon that way, the confunction of our law is the desist of our artificial and antiphon, because religiously the conference of our work, we will manufacture the next degree of our magical degree of the teleport and to guardia the relationship to build the history of our Anchan. So within our soul, we will develop the next destroyer in relation to the Dharmana and the Shisin. So within this way, the classes of the fifth Na, based upon the transition, the Komplong, the Na. So in this way, the velocity of our law, we will signal into the anti-Dofang and also to discriminate into the Kochanon of Dada. We can't do that, of course, but later on you find out what that means. So in that way, the antibacteria is based upon the sepandan of 3, 6, 2, 5, sector. Oh, nice. 11%, 12, 2, H, 2, 5, 1. Sextaton. So within the sextaton, the mechanism of our dottY, we will pin out the data of the third rule, because the third amount of degree is the artificial intelligence in relation to the Dhammakan, and also to reposition ourselves into its own compliance. So within that way, we can also signal into the decision of a Mangana in relation to Justin Moloch and Tufong the physicist. No, disgusting guy. Any ammo? What? Anyway. Dakalay. Sakana. And Tuku. Tisha. Dodo. Ka. Oops, wrong one. So in this way, the wikisys of the phototron will work out the next domain of the liquidity. So 56 H 2 Y 10 aura M 3 2 1 post timer. So within this post timer, the signal of the application form will reflect itself into the discussion of our law and intercursus of our non-division to support the SOPRO, because the position of a timer is the negligent of the quota quan, because our spaceship will sort of like that in relation to the don't know it yet. So in time of anagony, we will also position ourselves on the center in relation to the development of the next third amount of technology and to comply with the economy. Because in that way, this is 60 pop and 29 shar. So the 29 shar in relation to the development of the third amount of technology, the request is the criticism and to formula into the persistent down, because it is raw. I smell raw. Oh. Raw and fail. 26, 51, shar, biddle. Komplang Tetsanan. So in that way, when we know how to aura the Prakase, the histoton of our own blue vein is the direction of the bilobe in relation to our lecture and to conference the network of our interphoton. because that means digital. Did you know? The Ninkani of 54 value 3 emnim. So within this text stamp, the description of Turkton is rock 6 shar. So this conclusion in relation to our capitalization, we will need to know how to conflor the ink system in relation to our strata and to teleport into the division of a prosom, because the centration of IBM is at the of our. So in that way, it is 50 C F 5 D 1 B C 9 5 on. Message compliance. So in that way, when we know where the sun star is, the manganum of law is deduction. So, on, that's all I can do. Work out where the gate is in relation to the division to support the soul blaster. See? So in the So in that way, when we conflor the electricity in relation to our provision to telegram, the next dipsison in relation to our profile, we will offer the choices of our discount card and to mature itself into the economy of the fifth economy and to translate the governor in relation to the blesser and to develop the next encode. So within that way and in so, who's killer Sue Doohoo? So in that way, we can request into the exercise of our manifestation and to also Tokushon, our law, in relation to our fashion designer. Oh, blah. Oh, just an old friend of mine gave me $40 because I'm so poor. Well, I like being poor. Thank God. Yes. So in that way, because mom teach me a lot. My mom teach me a lot when I was, growing up with mom till I was 17 years old. Look, man, money is just money, right? But our Christian of our Christianity, nah. True though, because whatever we get, whatever we form in relation to the, recession will happen. So in that way, different, I hope you enjoy and things etc. So in that way, the next discussion of our text done in relation to the government, we will connect to the in the Palestine. So in a matter of time in relation to our controller, we will pin out the data of the third amount of technology and to pause the condemn, the fifth religion in relation to Dimnum, because the solar system in this planet, you will see the Dokashan higher than my uncle. Oh yes. Don't know when. But in that way, I like she-devil. So, Vatung Santung Fakut. Any maggots? What's maggots? Look at me, look like a hamburger. Oh god. So anyway. I love myself. I want you to love me. So, Twiggy. Manship. Twiggy, manship, bloody camp, ugh, and Colin, ugh. So, manship of less than dunk the shandang the manani. The rocation tian the kong kong. The nang sankan. So, don't start on. Just song. The phone. Ah, didn't I say Galicia at Ecuador in I'm just like oh. So any more proof? I'll prove to you. I'll leave it no. What would you like to dance Santandani command? Diligation Santa Carpenticata Dubong. This song got a good song. Oh, I know this one. Oh, takes too long to upload.